bike path we came in on last night, and the entire camp is right along the Oregon Coast Trail. So it's very convenient. It's 10 till 6 in the morning and we're getting started out of the Harris Beach State Park campground. Had a hiker-biker section that stayed in there. The far out comment said that it was notorious for having unusual campers there that didn't seem to be hikers or bikers. And that was true. Let me tell you about some of the goings on last night. So when I got there, I noticed there was one fellow who had a little bike trailer, and he had huge bags of aluminum cans, which he was unwilling to leave outside of his tent, and he pulled inside with him. So I thought that was unusual. And then there was a woman probably in her 30s, rather young, with a giant St. Bernard. Every layer of clothing she owned she was wearing, and she was looking very suspiciously at everyone. There was also Paul, who was bicycling border to border, Canada to Mexico. It was pretty impressive. Talked to him for a second. Well, at 1:15 in the morning, I was awakened by these popping noises, and they kept going. So I looked outside the tent, and the fellow with all the cans had a huge blazing fire going at 1:15 in the morning. I was looking at his cell phone, going back and forth to the garbage. And at the same time, there was some kind of overnight construction project which had backup beepers on their trucks going. So it was kind of interesting. Anyway, that was finally over, and then about 4:30 I was saying, oh, I ought to go ahead and get up. And just as I started sitting up, this guy walked through the camp with a flashlight and walked right up to everybody's tent with a flashlight. And he walked up to me and I said, hey, can I help you? No. And he just walked off. So, but I mean, he was shining the flashlight right on all the gear and all the tents. I don't know if he's looking for something or someone or what. But it should mean that the second night here will be interesting as well. 57 degrees in the tent, and otherwise comfortable evening. Woke up with a dry tent to pack up. That's the good news. The other good news is 8.7 miles to the terminus. Clearly upset about something. So we leave the road here at Seagull Lane and go to McVeigh Rock, and that is the beach access, and then we'll see how the tides are doing this morning. Okay, well, this is the last section of beach on the whole trail, so I've got to give it a try. There's varying comments saying the headlands in half a mile are difficult at 4-foot tide, and others saying it's easy at 4-foot tide. So we'll see. Does look like soft beach, so we'll take our time. But got to do the last section of beach. visible on the rocks. They did put in this staircase, but it must go up over the top entirely. Anyway, we'll try the rocks. Okay, found a safe way down there. Did not know there was a phase 2. So we'll be checking this out. I'm gonna have to time the waves in that area, but they have a back passage. All right. Fast. Phase 3 looks easy. That should do it. One little tunnel path after another. This is really fun. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad the tide is cooperating. Thank you, tide. Looks like free sailing after we get around this little point here. Yep, worked over the last spot, I believe. Now we've just got beach walking. That staircase at the first part was a private residence, as is all of these in here. It appears the sea had one last lesson to teach me. After I waded the river, I sat down on this log to dry my feet off and get my shoes back on, and a big wave came up, washed over most of the log, wet the bottom of my backpack, and grabbed one of my shoes and started taking it out to sea. So I had to, like this, and I had to run into the sea with my dry shoe to catch my shoe that was going away. It was hilarious. So, thanks for one last lesson. We have half a mile to go till the border marker. And it has to be before that headland, because theoretically you can't get around it. Really nice woman out for a walk with her dog, and she walked with me about, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile down the beach, and we talked. Her name was Gail, and she even offered me something to drink or a snack if I walk back by their house on the road. So, yeah, really nice. Well, I walked a few steps too far, and I'm now in California. So I've got to go back a ways. Maybe to that red marker there. Okay. All right. Well, I got to visit California, not just the border. Get a little more trail going back to the highway. Okay, there's the bridge we need. After last night's goings on at the Harris Beach hiker-biker spot, and considering I'd have to do laundry at a different facility and then hike back and then get up in the morning and hike back, I called the local RV campground. It's kind of centrally positioned and has laundry facilities, and they had a tent site open, and it's just $40, and I figured for the combined services and the location, it's well worth it. Christy approved, and so that's where we're heading, which means we have a little bit of a shorter walk back, which never hurt anything. Made it back to where we left the road to go to the beach originally. Castle back there. This is always true. If someone says they know a quicker way in life, it's usually a dead end. on the beach recommended Catalyst. She says it's the best in Brookings. Guess that's where we're going. This pretty little side road off of the 101 headed to the campground. This is the place. It's a sweet little RV campground here. And they have tent sites out here. You say people usually take the back corner, and that's where I'm headed. They've got a clubhouse, showers, laundry. I can do everything here and then head for the bus tomorrow. I see I have crow friends. Always some bird trying to steal my food. That's how it works. Well, we rolled in here at the Riverside RV Resort at about 2 o'clock. The Serenity shuttle has landed. We have had a shower, we have had laundry, we've had good conversation. And now I'm gonna order a pizza because they deliver here. So we have completed our final day of the hike, visited the visitor center and the border. Tomorrow there will be the video of the return trip and getting to see Christy again. And catch a bus in the morning at 11:15 and head back up to Florence where she's staying. It's been a wonderful trip, and thank you guys for hiking with me. Remember, we're doing the impossible. That makes us mighty.